Do you know which word firefighters fear the most?
Pretty quiet. Whoa! Did he just say? No!
Turns out, quiet is a forbidden word in the firehouse. It's like a curse. The last time someone said it, they ended up responding to 38 calls in one day. The alarm went off as expected. The firefighters quickly rushed to the scene, only to find that a rapper, trying to get famous, had glued himself naked to a billboard. The passing drivers got distracted watching him, causing a traffic accident. After dealing with that, the firefighters were ready to eat, but the alarm sounded again. They had to put down their pizza. This time, it was 3 back-to-back. First, they rescued a cat stuck in a tree, then the cat's owner who got stuck trying to rescue the cat, and finally, they saved a girl who couldn't get her lion head costume off. When they returned to the station, their pizza was already burnt, so they had to order takeout. But before the delivery arrived, the alarm went off yet again. They had to munch on some cookies on duty. It's tough being a firefighter. Even though his teammates rushed over, the man still broke his bones from the fall and couldn't walk anymore. When he was taken to the hospital, he didn't remember a single thing that had just happened. Even after the doctor explained everything, he still had no memory of it at all. What's even stranger is, right after hearing the doctor, he asked again what happened to his foot, as if nothing had been said. But when the doctor saw the man's leftover sandwich, everything made sense. Turns out, as a rock climbing fan, the man hardly ate any veggies to keep his weight down. This made his body low on vitamins, which caused the memory loss. The hospital gave him a vitamin shot right away, and sure enough, his symptoms got better. Do you like eating vegetables? Even if you don't, make sure you eat them. The paramedic was about to help the patient into the ambulance, but...
Come on.
Can you believe it? Someone actually stole the ambulance. The firefighter called for backup right away, but the paramedic was all twisted up inside the stolen vehicle. The car thief was speeding down the road, crashing into everything, even hitting a pedestrian. To make the man stop the car, the paramedic came up with a clever plan. She told him the ambulance had a tracking system and a remote brake control. Once it's turned on, the car would shut off, and the driver would be thrown out of his seat. At first, the man didn't believe her, but when he heard the siren inside and saw the police outside, he finally stopped the car. What a smart paramedic. Her pants were stained with blood, but when the firefighters saw the blood, they understood everything.
Am I dying?
Just a moment ago, the little brother rushed into the fire station with his sister because she couldn't stop bleeding.
I started bleeding this morning and it won't stop. I tried putting band-aids on it, but...
After figuring out the reason, the firefighter took the girl aside and explained where the blood was coming from. It turned out her mother had passed away, and no one had taught her about this. At that moment, a male firefighter came over and took the brother aside, but the worried little brother refused to leave his sister. The firefighter had to tell him, "Just wait 20 minutes. As soon as he left his sister, the boy started crying.
My mom bled out. That's how she died. Is that what's happening to my sister? Is she gonna die too?
The firefighter tried to explain, but the boy didn't understand. After changing her clothes, the girl felt so upset, feeling like she was as pitiful as Cinderella in a fairy tale. The firefighter comforted her. Cinderella didn't have a period. When the siblings saw each other again, the boy handed his sister some candy. Even though he didn't know what a period was, he was willing to make her happy every month. A sudden 7.0 magnitude earthquake hit New York. The man was buried by the mud flow and had already stopped breathing. The firefighters had no choice but to mark the spot and move forward.
Whoa. Do you hear that? It sounds like a baby.
Following the sound of crying, they found a house that was half buried by the mudslide. They had no choice but to go down through the chimney. Chimney was startled to see a woman lying on the ground. Then he spotted a baby on the bed. Fortunately, the baby was unharmed. Just as Chimney was sharing this good news with Buck, they heard a voice calling.
Copy.
After breaking open a door, he found a frantic woman asking for her child.
My baby, where is he? What did she do to him?
It's okay, calm down. Your baby?
She took him. She told me he wasn't mine anymore.
Who took him?
Carol. She tricked us into giving up our baby. She took him from me.
It turned out that the woman outside was a human trafficker who specialized in deceiving single pregnant women to have their babies for her. The whole house was filled with pregnant women who had fallen victim to her scheme. The woman suffered a brain cancer.
I'm dying, Julia. Cancer.
To ease her pain, she took some medication to speed up the process. The firefighters rushed to save her, but she refused, saying she had already signed a do not resuscitate order.
No, life-saving measures, no medical intervention.
The daughter could not accept this.
Don't listen to her. Do whatever you have to do to save her.
No, you can't save me. Just delaying the inevitable.
The firefighters were in a dilemma. Legally, they couldn't save the woman. The daughter couldn't just stand by and watch her mother die. She decided to save her herself. The mother comforted her daughter, saying that she had already spent too much time and energy caring for her in her illness. Now it was time for her to enjoy her own life, reflecting on the past.
Can you stay? I'm scared to sleep by myself.
I thought we agreed. Big girls sleep by themselves in their own big girl bed.
I'll be a big girl tomorrow. Can't you just stay with me tonight?
Let's go to her. All right. Just for tonight.
The mother peacefully closed her eyes. A man was lying on the hood of the woman's car.
Oh my God! Whoa.
Even though some people saw it, they just thought it was cool because it was Halloween. But as the woman drove away, they suddenly noticed the man on her car moved.
Did you?
I did.
What's that?
I don't know.
911?
The firefighters got a call, but when they found the woman, it was already nighttime. It turned out that the night before, while she was driving home, a bike suddenly came speeding from the other side of the road. The woman swerved to avoid it, but ended up hitting a man nearby. She acted like she didn't see anything, and not only took the man home, but even drove to work with him the next day. After checking her, the firefighters found out that the woman had damaged vision from the accident, which was why she didn't see the man on her car. Even though people on the street saw it, they all thought it was just a Halloween decoration. Looks like it's not a good idea to get into a car accident on Halloween. The dude fell into the elevator shaft and was about to be crushed like a cracker. A firefighter swiftly slid in, startling his companions outside. They quickly told someone to grab tools and shut off the power switch. The elevator was still descending. The firefighter grabbed a metal rod and jammed it into the gears, trying to stop the elevator. The teammates outside also propped the elevator doors open with 2 bamboo sticks temporarily. After 666 minutes, the teammate finally found the power switch and turned it off, but the elevator didn't stop.
It's not stopping, Otis!
The quick-thinking captain brought over a trash can to hold the door, but it got crushed shortly after. Just as the two inside thought they were about to be crushed by the elevator, finally, the teammate showed up with proper tools.
You okay down there, Casey? A little cramped, actually.
Everyone breathed a sigh of relief. The firefighter was high above on the drawbridge and was about to fall. His teammate wanted the operator to lower the bridge, but the operator refused, saying it broke the rules. What would you do if it were you? Just a moment ago, the firefighter got a call. A man and his motorcycle were stuck at the top of the drawbridge. The firefighter decided to use the side rails for the rescue. He grabbed onto the rails and started climbing toward the top of the bridge, but the man couldn't hold on much longer. The firefighter sped up and finally reached the top. First, he secured the heavy object, then got to the man. But right then, the motorcycle almost fell. For the sake of his teammate's life, the firefighter ignored the operator's orders. He kicked the door open and lowered the bridge successfully. Is following the rules more important than saving lives to the operator? The dude becomes bald because of his friend.
The man filled my shampoo with hair remover.
He decided to use the world's hottest pepper to get back at him. When the delicious tacos were served, the friend suddenly pointed.
Who is that?
When the dude turned his head, the friend quickly swapped their plates. The dude thought he was interested in the girl and even joked he'd go ask for her number for him. After seeing his friend eat the tacos, the dude also took a bite and then asked him the taste.
How is it?
A little bland, to be honest. The real question is, how's yours?
That's when the man felt his throat burning like it was on fire. He started chugging water bottle after bottle.
30 years you haven't grabbed me a soda from the fridge. Now you make me tacos? Come on, cuz. Try that again.
The friend, who had been gloating, realized something was wrong and immediately began performing the Heimlich maneuver. When the firefighters arrived, the dude was already unconscious, coughing up blood. They had no choice but to drain the fluid on site. As the fluid was drained, the dude finally regained consciousness. His friend let out a sigh of relief. He's hanging in midair at 10,000 meters. Firefighters had to wait for the plane to land. Rescue from the roof of a moving car.
Damn it, Gab, we missed him! Too hot! Too fast!
The the firefighter asked the pilot to fly lower, but the pilot said any lower, and they'd have to crash land. Will they be able to save him? Earlier this morning, a mother and daughter planned to skydive together, hoping it would help them cope with the loss of their husband and father. But just as they were about to jump, the plane suddenly hit turbulence, throwing their instructor out of the plane in the firefighter's last attempt.
Forward, forward, forward. That's it, we're almost there. Go! We got him!
It's hard to say if the instructor was lucky or unlucky in the end.